Hey everyone! So today's video is MAC eyeshadow collection and organization update and more. So let's do the and more part first. And all I meant by that really is I just wanted to show you my new nail polish that I got last night, which I know most of you probably already have because it's not new. OPI Jade is the new black. This came out with, I think, the Hong Kong collection, and fortunately MAC made it part of their permanent line because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get it. But you know, there's so many colors coming out all the time that there's no way that you can get everything, you know, so you do the best you can, right? And the other thing that I wanted to tell you about was that I tried the Maybelline 1x1 Volume Express Mascara that I told you that I bought. And oh my god, they did it again. You know how much I love the Maybelline, the Falsies mascara? This is every bit as good. The only complaint I have is that it stinks. It smells awful. But if you can get past that, this is a fantastic mascara. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring the camera in real close so that you can see my lashes and see what I'm talking about. So this is what the mascara looks like. I absolutely love it. I highly recommend it. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, is it better than the Falsies, or is it the same, or if I had to pick one or the other, I think I would give the edge to this one. That's if you can get past the horrible smell. Why did they have to make them stink so bad? I guess, you know, it's all chemicals, right? But yeah, if you can get past the bad smell, I think I would give this one a slight edge over the Falsies because the Falsies, the formula is maybe just a hair too thick, and this is just perfect. Now, it depending on how you look at this with the Falsies, it starts off being a little too thick, but then as time goes by, it becomes perfect as it starts to dry out a little bit, whereas this is perfect now. So is this going to get too dry over time? That remains to be seen. But that's my opinion about this new one. And then I'll probably try that L'Oreal Million Lashes one tomorrow because I just, you know, I wanted to wait because I have so many mascaras that are open, but who am I kidding? I can't wait when I get something new. I have to try it right away. So, let's get right into the MAC collection because, you know, this is going to take a while to show you. And I know some of you hate long videos, but that really can't be helped in this case. So if you don't like long videos, don't even bother watching this. Okay, so the first thing I do want to have to say something before I show you, and that is that when you start collecting MAC eyeshadows, at first it's fine when they're in the pot, but then after a while having all those tiny little plastic containers is really a pain in the neck. So most people end up depotting them at some point and putting them in palettes. So the thing you have to ask yourself is, how are you going to organize them in the palettes? Now, I found a system that works great for me. Then I started second guessing myself, and I started noticing that other people on YouTube who have a lot of MAC eyeshadows that had also put theirs in palettes had them by colors. They had, like, you know, a green palette and a blue palette and a pink palette and so on and so forth. Well, I said to myself, well, gee, you know, that makes sense. So I changed all mine over to by color, and it didn't work for me. Now, here's why I think that the system that I've used is actually better. And you know, you may want, if you haven't depotted all your eyeshadows and organized them yet, this is definitely something to take into consideration. Why I think that what I have come up with is actually a better system. Because here's why the bicolor thing to me didn't work. When you do an eyeshadow look, you're not going to use 3 greens or 3 blues or or whatever, you're going to use a highlight color, a lid color, and a crease color, right? So that means you're going to have to open 3 different palettes and look through 3 whole palettes full of eyeshadows. So what I have done is, and I put it all back the way I had it before, I put them by usage. And what I mean by that is I have like palette number 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Palette number 1 has the eyeshadows that I use most frequently. It has highlights in it, it has lid colors, it has crease colors, it has outer corner colors. It's a mixture of the ones that I use the most. And that way I can just grab like palette number 1, open it up, and do a look. Or I can grab palette number 1 and 2, because palette number 2 are the ones that I use almost as much as palette number 1, but not quite, and so on and so forth. When you're trying to decide which eyeshadows are going to go in which palettes, you can't base it on your favorites, because a lot of times favorites are the ones that are the most beautiful, but not necessarily the ones that you're going to use most frequently. Also, the ones that are your favorites are going to be the ones that are probably the prettiest, but maybe not so wearable. Because with me, I like really pretty colored eyeshadows, but yet, you know, they're too crazy to wear like all the time, or maybe you don't have the right clothes to go with those colors. But in any case, so that's how I have these set up. Another thing that I did that everybody does eventually when they start getting a lot of colors is I took the inserts out of the palettes so that I could fit more eyeshadows in them. And they just pop right out with a knife. If you stick a knife down in the side, you can just pop those right out. And then you can fit, instead of 15 eyeshadows, you can fit 21. So then you don't have to buy as many palettes, because it just got so that I had a ridiculous amount of palettes, and now I have extras, so I have room for expansion. Okay, so having said all that, let's get started. Okay, palette number 1. Now let's see. I'm gonna tilt the camera away from me and onto the eyeshadows. So here's palette number 1, and these are, for me, the most crucial eyeshadows, the ones that I grab for most frequently. And I like to have, like I said, a variety of highlight, lid, and crease colors. So we have Satin Taupe, Shroom, Tracks, Woodwinked, Naked Lunch, Carbon, All That Glitters, and then on the next row over we have Club, Beauty Marked, Amber Lights, Vex, Patina, Mulch, Paradisco, and then in this row right here we have Humid, Rice Paper, Shale, Retrospect, Nylon, Sketch, and at the bottom is Expensive Pink. Now today I have on 2 of these colors, and then my highlight color is from palette number 2, and just in case you're wondering, I have on Satin Taupe on the lid, up a little bit into the crease, and then I have Mulch in the outer corner, and then my highlight color is Vanilla, which is in palette number 2. I was gonna go with rice paper, and no, not rice paper, nylon. I almost used nylon, and then I just changed my mind at the last minute and decided to go with vanilla. But I like nylon a lot too as a highlight color, which is why it's in palette number 1. Okay, now palette number 2, which is almost as important as palette number 1, but not quite. Okay, we have Green Smoke, Cranberry, Steamy, Floof, Bronze, Jest, Black Tide at the bottom there. And then the second row I have Honey Lust, Tempting, Aphrodisiac, which by the way was my very first eyeshadow that I ever bought. So I guess you would have to say that that's my favorite. Parfait Amour, that's vanilla right there that I used as my highlight color. Let's see, this is Brulee, and then that's Sable at the bottom there. And then in the third row, I have Sumptuous Olive, Mystery, I'm sorry, not Mystery, Mythology, Deep Truth, Tilt, Honesty, Swish, and then at the bottom is Pink Venus. Okay, so that's palette number 2. And then palette number 3, ooh, they moved around a little bit. Okay, palette number 3 is Idolize, Swimming, Smoke and Diamonds, and I have 2 of those because they are limited edition and I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to get it again, so I got 2 of them. Let's see. This is Embark right here, and then Beautiful Iris, and Night Divine at the bottom. In the second row is Sweet Lust, which makes a terrific highlight color, by the way. Shadowy Lady, Yogurt, Surreal, Silver Ring. I think that was the second eyeshadow I ever bought, was Silver Ring, to go with the Aphrodisiac. Grand Entrance, Digit at the bottom. And then in the third row, I have Style Snob, Satellite Dreams, Aquavert, Go, Da Bling, White Frost, Glamour Check. White Frost for a while there was my favorite highlight color. I used to use that all the time as a highlight, but then, you know, your tastes sometimes change with your eyeshadows and what you like, and I'm noticing some definite changes in the things that I've been going for lately. So, you know, you can always change them around and make new labels if you want in your taste change, and you can switch things up and put them in different palettes. Okay, let's move on now. This is palette number 4. Okay, this is Figure 1, Banshee, Mink and Sable, Plum Dressing, Bow Gray, Hypnotizing, and Birds and Berries is at the bottom there. And then in this row is Silverthorn, Vibrant Grape, A2 Bouquet, Clarity, Dreammaker, Haunting, and Lotus Land at the bottom. And then in this row is Modelette, Sunset Bee, Pin Curl, Mulled Cider, Nano Gold, Talent Pool, and at the bottom is Fashion Groupie. And then the next one is palette number 5. Oh, and if you see discoloration on some of these, it's because when you're depotting sometimes you have accidents, and the only way you can fix it is to put alcohol in there to smooth everything back down again, and sometimes it will leave like a stain, but it doesn't affect the eyeshadow at all. So if you see that on here, on some of these, you'll know why. Okay, so this was palette number 5, and we have Top Hat, Night Maneuvers, Hot Hot Hot, Bold and Brazen, Showstopper, Ego, and Sugar Shot at the bottom there. And then on this row, and this is what I was talking about with the discoloration, we have Dame's Desire, Straw Harvest, Chamomile, Lovelace, Unbasic White, Aqua, Atlantic Blue, and then over here we have Crest the Wave, Memorabilia, One Off, Sky Blue, Give Me Liberty of London, Star by Night, and Blue Calm at the bottom. And then my last palette, which is palette number 6, I have Fashion, Perky, Lala, Indian Ink, Mariz Mood, All Races, Cross-Cultural at the bottom, and then over here I have Rosy Outlook, Crazy Cool, Winkle, Free to Be, Suave Intentions, and Very Violet. So hopefully I had the camera at the right angle there so that you could see all those, because I don't have the kind of camera where I can see what I'm filming. I just have to kind of wing it. Okay, I already told you what I was wearing for nail polish and eyeshadows today and mascara. So all that's left is to tell you that I'm wearing the Guerlain Meteorites Foundation Primer, Color Stay, Revlon Color Stay Foundation. I forgot to put under eye concealer on today. And then I have MAC Rosé Olay Special Reserve Highlight Powder all over as a setting powder. I tried out the new e.l.f. blush in Mellow Mauve or Mellow Mauve. I have on Maybelline Eye Studio gel eyeliner in brown on my waterline and tightline. I already told you the mascara. I have the MAC Painterly Paint Pot as the eyeshadow base. And I have on the e.l.f., the new e.l.f. bronzing powder that I got that came in that duo. The contouring blush and bronzing powder. I didn't use the blush, I just used the bronzer as a contour. And the only thing left, I guess, is lipstick. I have on MAC Viva Glam Cindy lipstick. And no lip gloss today, just the lipstick. So that's my MAC eyeshadow collection, and yeah, you definitely want to take into consideration what will work best for you, because not everybody is going to have the color method that most people use. For me, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because you're not going to use 3 of the same color when you do a look, so why would you want to separate all your eyeshadows by color? But that's just me, in my opinion, and this is what works best for me. So find what works best for you, and if you have a different system that you use for your MAC eyeshadows, let me know in the comment section, because I would love to know what your system is. Alright, see ya, guys, bye.